units.
When you look at the likes of Copenhagen Wolves, they're probably one of the teams that are knocking on the door. Their AD carry is not going to be with them, so let's not get carried away with how they've been performing. TCM, of course, did qualify over in Tenerife, so we'll see how they perform against them as well. Meanwhile, though, let's look at the picks and bans for this match. Zed and Zac have been taken away, so we're not going to see any crazy Zed action this time around. Shen and Vayne also being taken away, so no Shen for Makata in that jungle. There's Sandra, he's been removed away from Zora Zero, and Thresh the final ban. Sure as hell, it looks like
It'll be Elise. I'm pretty sure that's going to be Elise. It's one of the preferred picks. It's what Cubon likes to play. He's very comfortable on, and it's what he's had very good performances on all split long. Fizz has made it through the picks and bans, and I want to highlight that because Nukeduck has played Fizz a number of times. And I think he's probably got one of the most diverse champion pools out of all of the mid laners this split. He's played so many champions.
I'm going to see whether they're going to have fun with this game. Nope, they're going to switch it back. He's going to play Elise. Come on, Cubon, make your mind up.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be an Elise. You know, for LemonDogs, I'm more excited to see if they want to try the double AD comp again. It slowed down in the mid game against Evil Geniuses yesterday, but you know we all remember Mithy's Thresh hook onto Wicked as he was trying to jump into Baron, and
it was a blind hook as well.
Blind hook. It was just prediction.
I remember here in EG, they were outside the studio, and they were just like, it was blind. It was a blind hook. Yep. It was completely lucky. But and then Snoopy, to be fair, was being hard on himself. It's like, well, I shouldn't have been in that position. I should have been a bit further back, and I wouldn't get caught in the blind hook. It's like that's how critical these players can be. It's like, you know, while it was a lucky moment, he's already thinking,
could have been
that's a lucky moment that I should not have been in that position.
Yep, could have been game-changing. And I'm happy to see Fizz. I know that Nukeduck wanted to play it. He's just seen what Bjergsen's done on Zed. And any player that's a mid lane player that has similar play style and has that similar effect on a game just makes you go, I want to do that now. I can do that now.
I can do that,
and you can see it's paired with Dexter's Lee Sin. So you're going to be seeing all this mobility. You're going to see all this diving, fighting back and forth over and over.
And the irony is that's actually the pull of League of Legends. Because everybody's had a game where they've kind of gone that big.
Not all
of us have done it here in the LCS, of course. That's not a thing. But overall, everybody that's played League of Legends has had one of those moments, and that's the pull. That's the addictiveness. You just think, I can do that again. It doesn't always work out. It's just one more game in the night. One more game. Don't worry, I'll go to bed after this one. One more game.
I leave every single LCS broadcast on usually Sundays through Saturdays with the itch to play. Every single, no matter how many games I cast and watch and how many hours I sit here, I get home and all I want to do is play.
I just get frustrated when I do that because I get back and I can't do it.
I do hate my life a little bit, but what we do see is Libic, he's going to be playing the support Fiddlesticks. So it is sort of the preferred, it's one of the preferred champions we're seeing. Not necessarily as popular elsewhere in the world. It's really predominantly here in Europe that we're seeing those support fiddles as frequently as we currently are.
Yeah, it used to be pretty heavy in Korea for a while, and China used it the odd one at a time, but we are seeing a Blitzcrank coming out, and actually Mithy's going to have some fun with this, I feel.
In terms of the entire LemonDogs roster here, you've got mobility on 3 of the champions, and you've got Mithy to complement that by, if they're hanging around in lane, they can grab the likes of the Fiddlesticks, the Graves, whoever else is going to be locked in here for MYM, and then just jump on them instantaneously.
Double AD comp could be coming out. We'll see. No, he's going to switch it across. Charu playing Gragas. I don't think I remember seeing that. They were hovering over it at the start. It looks like it is going to get locked in. So McKenna will be back on Nunu. Going to get that Blood Boil to help out on Caitlyn. Kind of worked out, and this comp is actually fairly close to what they ran against Fnatic, just one single change.
So one of the things that is kind of cool about the MYM comp right now, with the Nunu and a Gragas, you've actually got the movement speed and attack speed debuffs from the respective spells. So the Ezreal, the Lee Sin, who are going to be sort of reliant on punching you and auto-attacking you in the course of team fights, are going to be mitigated and reduced somewhat. So there's quite a nice synergy, but it's very much wait for LemonDogs to jump in, then disperse them with that explosive cask.
Let's see what LemonDogs choose for that top lane. What is Zora Zero feeling like playing? Is he going to go with Singed? We haven't seen Singed a great deal in the European LCS.
A huge
Still gets running career quite a bit. And it is going to get locked in, so Singed will be playing.
Joe is going to be celebrating immensely right now, and I like the combo of the rocket grab hook into the Singed fling to throw them all the way to the back line. But the rest of the composition here for LemonDogs is really a scrabbled together fun one. This is definitely deal poke, deal damage, throw the Chum the Waters from Fizz. We'll see if this sticks. Throw Chum the Waters from Fizz. Once he's slowed down, fling him backwards. Tabs, if he plays Fizz right now, I think this is just for the fans. if this sticks, and I'm sincerely hoping it is, because he's probably the most famous.
His hands are off the keyboard. He's not planning on changing this. There's no awaiting change here, as far as I can tell.
Keep an eye. Look through the
okay,
screen.
Nuke does play Ezreal quite a lot. I've seen him playing it in the mid lane, but he's going to play it as AD carry, which means it's probably going to be Tabs. I'm going to keep my eye on it on the other screen.
It is
no
Tabs.
change coming in. Tabs in the mid lane.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a little bit of fun with this matchup, because as we said, this is the top of the table versus the bottom of the table, and I think that MYM, you know what, these teams and these players have played against their opponents in solo queues so often. They're going to be aware of what Tabs can and cannot do. And I'm just hoping for more of those 1v4 plays that we've seen from Bjergsen yesterday and managing to pick up kills.
It also actually makes it tricky for our camera guy because they have done a lane swap. They are going to change around. I don't believe Fizz will be playing alongside Blitzcrank. So Nuke, like I mentioned, he has played Ezreal. Every time I actually go into that room, in the practice room, I see him playing Ezreal in solo queue, in the mid lane. So he's not exactly doesn't know how to play Ezreal, let's put it that way.
One of the things I also want to highlight that's completely as an aside, going into the very first game of the day, MYM actually had LemonDogs logos as their summoners.
Yes, they did,
and going into this particular matchup, they believe in alternate. All 5 of them sporting the alternate colors. So we'll have to see who actually makes it through later in the day. Right now, it is the 3rd match of our final day in Super Week here, with MYM on the blue side against LemonDogs on the red side. And I want to see where these lanes actually match up, if they are going to go straight for the meta of 1v1 and 2v2, as it were.
Yeah, you can see they're heading towards that mid lane. Let's see how this one works out. Will we see an invade? And you know what? This is one of the games where actually I think we may see a 5-man invade.
Yeah, you know, at this point in time, LemonDogs have got a very good pick composition because they've got the ability to pull somebody in with that rocket grab and potentially, if Singed is around, even fling him further back. But you'll notice that both teams are sort of mirroring one another's thought processes, and they're not going to bump into each other yet.
The funny thing is, MYM used to be that level 1 invade team. They were the scary team. You just had to fear what they were going to do at level 1. They just haven't really done it in the LCS over the last few months, whether it's simply come from practice, from scrims, and it's just backfired on them because the LCS teams are so much more experienced than their level 1 play. They just counter it well, but as it is, they've all been spotted out because of that ward that was on the red buff, and it is causing LemonDogs to back off. MYM are also backing off.
Yeah, also remember that as the game has been patched up more and more over the course of the last 6 to 8 months, the level 1 is losing level 1s have become so much more impactful, with jungle changes, with experience camps giving so much more, and you know, the ability to lose and be put behind. We've seen Gambit beat Evil Geniuses yesterday, basically because Snoopy died at level 2, going to pick up his 2nd buff. And because the risk is so great, it could be the reason why MYM has slowed the game down. However, in this particular matchup, they're still stacked up on the red.
And look what's happening, actually. Oh, they are going to the top lane. So Nuke's going to go into the top alongside Mithy. So yes, there is a proper change around. The Kata will be taking away that red buff. And there is no counter so far. Or will Dexter go that way? See which way he heads after picking up this blue buff. Yes, it is. He's going to go straight in towards the enemy jungle and try and take away the red buff of his own. The question is, will he be allowed to do that? Yeah, Makata's making his way down towards this area of the map as well, and with that Consume and Smite, he may be able to steal up. But what we are seeing from MYM is they've done some lane shenanigans as well. They want to try and control this mid lane. So if MYM respond, they're going to have a numbers advantage on the steal from Dexter. Yeah, Dexter actually got spotted out by the ward here, which is why Makata, who was heading to blue, quickly reacted and turned straight back down there, saying, nope, I'm not going to allow this to happen. Thinks he's being sneaky here, coming around the backside, and realizes that red buff was started off. So this is a very good counter, and a counter to the counter. Yeah, an advantage for MYM. They've got a buff steal under their belt, they've got a little bit of vision control, and they're well aware of where their opponent's vision is, so they can play into it. But what we do see is Dexter thinking to himself, he's going to take his opponent's blue, because now this side of the map, he's got a numbers advantage. Well, this is a counter to the counter to the counter, obviously. It's just what I'm saying. So obvious. But what we do see, though, is that both players are trying to at least secure the 2nd buff of the game, but it's double red for Nunu and potentially double blue. However, once again, we are seeing supports responding. So Libic was trying to get up in range of this blue buff steal, and luckily enough, Makata scared them away. Yeah. Big scary Nunu. I wasn't sure whether he was actually. Oh yeah, they're going to say they're not giving up on this one so easily. I was quite surprised. Makata knows this vision. Yeah, he just sits laughing away. They're going to go for him, but Dexter tries to put the damage down. Safeguards back to Mithy. They're going to try and start it up. This is actually buying time for Makata Smite to be back up, though.
Yeah, so it will be up very, very soon, and we'll see whether or not he wants to actually challenge for it. Throws down the Ice Blossom with LemonDogs presence. This might be first blood.
Hooks in, Power Fist, Exhaust goes down. They're going to see LemonDog going aggressive. Can he catch on towards him? No. Libic blocks out the kick there from Dexter. Dexter has stole away the blue, though.
Dexter was playing patiently on that Sonic Wave. If he fired that a little bit earlier, maybe would have been enough to secure the kill, but it didn't work out. Zoro, on the other hand, he's used his Ghost up and forced to run all the way around. Because Charu is very terrifying.
He was taken very low. Charu actually doesn't have a great deal of mana left, though. Ignite is still available for Zoro in that bottom lane. Look at Makler, though. He's getting aggressed on here by Tabs. Tabs, the fear that used to be in the mid lane as Fizz. Many times when he was playing on it before. That used to be his main champion until LemonDogs were formed and suddenly he was an AD carry.
Yeah, and in terms of this lane matchup, Tabs is going to be able to actually kill one of them once he gets to level 6. With the full burst combo, he can drop them before Libic's Fear and Silence becomes impactful. However, we're going to have to see how quickly Libic can get that crowd control down, because if they can control Fizz, he'll be in trouble.
Well, Beat Boop tries to come through. They jump onto Libic this time around. Grab comes through and he gets a minion, though.
Yeah, not this time around, unfortunately. Mythic failing the first grab that he's tossed out in the laning phase, but enough presence and focus to allow Tabs to continue dealing damage, and more importantly, not lose out on CS.
He doesn't seem too worried about Makler and Libic either, does he? Just keeps walking up there, tries to bully them out, tries to get that combo on towards him, puts more damage down onto Libic, and actually doing a very good job of bullying both these pair.
Yeah, he's got double the CS of Cubon in the 1v2 lane, but Cubon has to deal with a Blitzcrank hook, which is a little bit more terrifying than the Fear and the Silence, especially because the Playful Trickster does not require changing forms to dodge any of those abilities.
So 3 members of Meteor Makers in his mid lane. Makana, he got the 2 red buffs. Meanwhile, in the opposite jungle, Dexter picked up both blue buffs. Not too sure which one's going to work out better for the 2, but Tabs is not giving up on this one.
I'm going to stretch my mind back as long as I can, and I think at OGN Spring last year, I remember seeing CLG NA with this Nunu jungle plus Caitlyn, and at the time I think it was Lulu support with a heavy push strat in the mid lane. And they used Nunu to control the Wraith camp, to control the jungle once they got the mid tower down. But look at the numbers for LemonDog. Can Mithy get the hook?
Oh, Beat Boop comes around. He manages to go to Libic, not really the ideal target. The Fear immediately forced him away. Tabs couldn't get into there either. Dexter was also held up so quickly. They forced him away. This tower has been taken very low, like you mentioned. Meanwhile, down the bottom, we are seeing the proximity farming, or dirty farming, lane cutting, whatever you want to call it. It's what Zoro is doing in the bottom.
And he's got a 2-level advantage over Cubon right now. So he's going to be able to quite literally run rings around the Elise Spider and all of the Spiderlings, and Cubon's in trouble.
Tries to pop his ultimate. Is it going to be enough? The Insanity Potion running. Cubon with the Ignite down. The Poison ticking. I'm not too sure whether there's going to quite be enough damage. Doesn't matter. The mid lane's where First Blood goes down. It's Makler that got took down.
There's no Ghost available for Zoro, so he simply cannot get in range of Cubon, and he continues doing that lane cutting as he goes behind the freestanding tower. True Shot Barrage gets flung from the top lane. Nukesack with a little bit of an opportunistic play. Doesn't work out from this time.
Yeah, Snipe not quite working out there. Well, Libic taking a very aggressive stance here because the barrels are coming in. Charu throws out the explosive cask. Is it going to be enough? Tabs tries to turn it back on his head. Tries to get on towards Libic. Doesn't have the mana like you mentioned. Still tries to get away. Big belly slam from Charu.
So that evens up the kill score as far as Meteor Makers is concerned. And all of this lane swapping is just continuing as now Charu's going all the way to the top lane to deal with the duo of Nukeduck and Mithy. I say duo, but Mithy spent most of his time roaming. That goes back to Season 1 when you had a roaming support like Alistar.
Zoro continuing to lane cut in that bottom lane, or proxy farming is what it's known as in Korea. It simply means he's farming the proximity between the first outer and inner turret, just completely cutting them through, or obviously could go the next level in, it would be between the inner
and a hook.
Inhibitor. He does manage to hook on towards Makler. Unfortunately, there's no damage following it up.
Now, there's no one around, so I got a little bit excited, a little too early.
Not the first time.
Hot Rod Blitzcrank managing to land a very good hook onto Makler. And he's obviously gone back, picked himself up that pickaxe, feeling like he needs the power right now. With Tabs rejoining the lane, his ultimate will be available in about 5 to 10 seconds time. So keep your eyes open for potential Nom Nob. This time around it's a killer whale, no more Earth.
No, it's a bit disappointing. It's the one you were going to have.
Not really, but yeah, Atlantean was the one I was fighting over and lost, sadly. Beaten by a North American counterpart, but that's a story for another day. As Tabs
we should talk about it now. We should talk about you losing to a North American player.
It's going down.
It's dead. It's gone. Don't worry about that one. There's going to be the shark coming out. It's catching on towards Libic. He actually flashed away, so he didn't do the damage on the rest of his team. That's going to be the fear bouncing between both Tabs and Libic. I can never remember his name for some reason. Zoro, though, he's trying to catch on towards Kuban. His Sanity Potion running again, but this time Kuban not falling for it.
And Zoro is using this for sustain as much as anything else. It's a pretty long cooldown. It's going to give him all of that HP and mana per 5 and just allow him to farm up this wave as best as possible. He's currently got double the creep score that Kuban has. And we were talking about how strong Kuban was in Elise. He's not able to deal with Zoro's Singed.
No, indeed. He's just causing problems for him. You can see in terms of CS, it's a huge, huge disadvantage. 40 CS gap right now and continuing to climb.
At this point in time, and he equates to 5,000 gold, and Zoro's been jumped on.
He's dead. He's already used his Insanity Potion, so no way you're going to get away from this one. Where is he? The glue comes down, the repel's there. Ice Blast comes in to finish.
Yeah, there's enough crowd control, and because the Ice Blast cooldown is particularly low from Makate, he was able to throw that one out. It's one every 5 seconds. Good attempt from Zoro. Ironically, if he had his Insanity Potion, he may have had enough movement speed to get away.
Well, Charo trying to roll out the barrel in the top there, but Nuke just sidestepping it. Let's have a look across the board, because we haven't had a good chance to right now. Nuke, the AD carry in this game, is pretty much ahead of Makla. Makla's been having a bit of a fun time in the mid lane with Tabs, partying with the fish bear man thing, whatever it is. Not too sure what you'd actually claim it as. It's like a fishy yodel.
I think he is a fishy yodel. That's a pretty good definition, actually. I've never thought about it before this point. And at the moment, because Tabs had to deal with that dual lane, he is behind in CS, and it's just going to delay that insta-gib potential that we see out of Fizzes, especially against a very squishy team. I mean, Gragas, he's not particularly beefy. You've got Caitlyn, who am I thinking? Fiddlesticks and Elise, who will all just get chomped down as soon as he gets that Lich Bane and a little bit more ability power completed.
Dexter looks like he's going to start off the Dragon. Actually, a long time for Dragon here. 10, just coming up to the 11-minute mark, actually. Will be started off, so LemonDogs going to try and take control of the first Dragon of the game. In terms of gold, you can see it's pretty close. This will actually give LemonDogs their gold lead, despite the fact they are one turret down, that mid turret that was pushed and taken earlier. And actually, you know, the fact we mentioned that they were fast pushing that mid turret, they haven't really followed up on it.
No, the problem is, once they got the tower, they haven't actually rotated their AD carrying around elsewhere. Zoro's running in, they're going to catch Kuban.
Kuban's going to get flipped, forced in there. Dexter's taking a lot of tower hits here. There's a repel that's going to come through. The Nerve tower hit, not quite going to hoe. Like you said, he went a little bit too early. And of course, with the Elise changes, he hasn't got that immediate pounce power that you used to have. He can't sink the fangs in, can't jump on him, can't do any spells until he's out of that repel.
A little bit overconfident as far as that tower dive was concerned, and unfortunately, Zoro and Dexter not able to lock up anybody for long enough. Nuke, however, has found Libic. This may be a little bit of trouble. It's a teleport top lane.
True Shot Barrage comes in. There's the party time from Fiddlesticks. Not really going to land. Instead, he just went the complete opposite direction. Libic's having a little bit of time trying to lock down Nuke here and trying to actually keep track of his direction.
There was definitely a teleport being channeled in the top lane, and it looked like it got interrupted. It was from top to bottom. I misread it, unfortunately, as we do see now MYM with the kill advantage, but still behind in gold.
Tampa being given some free time in that mid lane, but in terms of CS, he's fell quite heavily behind Charu, and Charu has been doing a grand job of farming, and actually a grand job of keeping quiet as well. Oh, belly slam onto Tabs. Tabs with no mana here. Won't be able to play full trickster away from this one. Charu's pretty low on mana himself. Does have Explosive Cask available. Didn't go for it.
Yeah, at this point in time, because Charu's going to need a full combo of every single ability, it wasn't going to work out for a kill. Nuke pretty low mana himself, but if Dexter can get a good kickback, maybe there's kill potential. That Sonic Wave was nowhere.
No, it was a shooty score straight through the middle, to be honest. Dexter wasn't even close, expecting to probably to go to one side. Charu picking up his own blue buff because not really getting a lot of help from Makana. Makana's out dancing with wolves by the looks of it.
And with regards to picking up blue buff if you're Gragas, because your Drunken Rage not only increases your attack damage and gives you some damage reduction, it's actually pretty safe and pretty efficient once you do get a little later in the game to use that ability and pick up your own buff. So good play from MYM. A little bit of a chaotic but a fun game so far.
Yeah, indeed. Zoro though, he's all nearly up to 50 CS ahead of Coupon right now, so this is not exactly going his way, despite the fact Zoro almost lost out early on against Charu, if you remember rightly, in that very early level 1 phase. Instead, Coupon, who played fantastically well on Elise in the last matches, definitely struggling it out a little bit more. It's been a while since he probably played a Singed on Elise.
Yeah, it's definitely not a matchup that you do see very often, and it's not one you see at an LCS level, and even more so, you don't really know what to expect from these teams because the pressure is off them, because their slots are locked in for the standings. They can go a little bit crazy, and you can see that right now as MYM Makers have stacked up as a 3-man, and they've caught Makane.
Uh-oh, wasn't expecting that one. Gets pulled back in there. Zoro throws down the glue. Hasn't gone in just yet, though, because Charu comes around the side. This is all buying time for Tabs in that top lane, who's working down the turret.
And because Tabs wasn't there, Zoro was thinking about going in and played very, very defensively. The cast goes out. They've caught Nukeduck and Mithy.
Explosive Cask and his Mithy seemed to turn his attention to. Nukeduck was just off the side, but that top turret, it's going to fall. It's rocking down to Tabs' Fizz.
Yeah, and that explosive cask is on a 1-minute cooldown as long as Gragas has got that blue buff and the Fiendish Codex up. So it also makes me think he's going to go for a Deathfire Grasp, which means we could see some really, really fun, just insta-give pop people with a full barrel combo coming out of Gragas.
Tabs is not backing off here. He's got a Lich Bane. He's staking in the top lane. He's going to go for Charu. We're not seeing it. Instead, we're seeing a missed hook. Instead, we are going to see Charu getting taken very low. Flashes away from that fish. Tabs is going to continue chasing. Playful Trickster will be back available in a moment. It should be able to close the gap. Oh! Well, that looked like it got away, but it seems the...
He landed the ability before the body slam came out, so unfortunately there was no wall blocking them up.
No, indeed. There's going to be the bottom turret going down. That will be the second turret of the game for MYM Makers. The second turret of the game for LemonDogs is going to happen in the middle lane, though. And LemonDogs take every advantage around the map. So far, 3 lanes pushed for LemonDogs and Zoro holding them off on the bottom. Yeah,
we'll have to see how the next Dragon fight pans out because it should be respawning in the not-too-distant future. And with very little vision there, that's going to be the focus for both of these teams. We've already seen them going at it toe-to-toe in lane, and the team fights are going to be as chaotic as we've seen because Gragas is going to knock everyone away, and there's Ghost Storm.
Well, Zoro is not going to be able to run away from this one. Nope. Thought for a minute, I thought maybe he was, but no.
The exhaust was enough to mitigate his movement speed and just hold him in place long enough, but it's basically just both of these teams catching one another out, really. That's all they seem to be doing for the last 15 minutes.
So let's take stock of the situation. We haven't really had a good look at the items. As Fizz, or Tabs, whichever you'd like to call him, he actually rushed that Lich Bane. Now he's built up a double Doran's ring, and now it's got the boots in there. That was all he actually had, was a Crystalline Flask and the Lich Bane. Really did put everything into rushing that one down. Meanwhile, we do see Charu. Charu had a very good time of it in terms of farming. Got that kill early on. Hasn't needed this large rod in there. Has himself the Source Boots and the, I was about to say Amp Tome, but it is the can't remember the damn name of that
guys?
book. No.
Fiendish Codex.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, Fiendish Codex. For DFG is what he's working towards. Just to get his burst combo up, and cooldown reduction on Gragas is always super, super effective. There's nothing particularly unique just yet, and they've got Coupon.
Walked straight past the ward and got hooked and absolutely decimated. He will go down eventually. Bop then.
Does manage to get the flash off. That was a little bit of a waste. He had thought maybe he could get to safety with Makla and Makate being there, but it didn't work out. Sonic Wave once again going a little wide as now they've jumped onto the fish.
They've jumped onto the fish. That's going to be the True Shot Barrage rattling through, and it is going to be the Dragon that will go down. And ironically, we saw Makla almost walk into the same position. We've already seen one get hooked there. Surely they knew there was a ward, but no. They walked straight in there, and Mithy says, thank you very much. I'll have kill number 2.
Yeah, and the Killer Whale manages to secure that one. They're waiting for the barrels to go out. Tabs has jumped on Charu.
Tabs jumps on Charu. He took half his hit points off there and didn't really do a great deal else. That was the Dragon secured by Dexter. Zoro pops the Insanity Potion and the Ghost. Tries to get into Charu. Can't quite get into Flip Radius. He's going to belly thumb away. There's going to be the swing. Actually nearly pulled him away from Tabs. Cocoon not going to land. LemonDogs in control.
And Zoro threw himself out. They managed to pick up the fling, and that was enough time for Tabs to finish it off. Remember, Tabs doesn't even have the most amount of ability power right now. He's still trying to work his way forward. Zoro is low.
Oh, but is he? Because coming around the backside, he's going to be Tabs. The barrier's there. He gets dropped. Tabs picks up another.
Tabs was able to take the ace in the hole. He got channeled by Makla, and it's not over yet.
Oh, Libic flashes away from this one. Mithy's in trouble, but coming around around the side is going to be Nuke. Dexter jumps on towards Libic. Libic taken low in the top there. There comes Tabs diving in the ring again. Is it going to be enough? In Tabs, he's going to have playful tricks are available. I don't think he's going to go for it, though.
Dexter managed to kick him to safety. It's not over yet. It's now Cuban wants to play with Dexter.
Honks his horn and runs away. Kuban continues to pursue, though. He's going to be able to repel. Is it going to be enough? The Cocoon on towards Dexter. Coming around the side is Charu. Safeguards back over to Blue Buff.
And now it's not there. Look at the HP bars of Tabs and Dexter as Charu continues the chase. His explosive cask is going to be up in about 5 seconds' time. Will he get in range?
Nuke giving chase. He's coming around the side. There's the glue being thrown down. Throws out the poison wave. Kuban walks in towards it. The Cocoon doesn't land. He's got to be careful, Kuban. They're setting up a gank here. They're going to dive in for it. Tabs tries to bait them in there. He gets dropped down. Kuban's going to get taken low. Gets the repellent on Mithy. Nuke comes around. Can't catch on towards Charu. Charu can't get another kill. That's going to be another one down. It was a 2-for-2 trade despite LemonDogs being in 5v2.
2-for-2 trade at the end of the day, and if Tabs had enough mana to get the playful trickster out, he may have been able to survive, but unfortunately, after he threw himself at his opponents, he had no escape means left and got dropped instantly. Taking a look at the itemization that's just been picked up, yeah, we do see that Vamp Scepter and Sheen being completed for Nukeduck's Ezreal, so I want to see what he decides to optimize and what he decides to pick up first. Dexter feeling the pain from Gragas. He's gone for a Hex Drinker on his Lee Sin.
Well, I'm going to see some fun builds, I think, coming out from these players that certainly seem to be having fun around the map. It's working out well for them. 8-5 to LemonDogs right now, 5,000 gold advantage over the Meet Your Makers. Meanwhile, it's 3-2 in turrets. So, they've taken all the outer turrets. Where will LemonDogs head next?
At this point in time, vision on their opponent's jungle and then buffs, as you're seeing now. Blue buff has been pulled over the wall by Mithy. That is slowly resetting and getting some HP back, and they pick the fight.
Tries to come in and get the consumed steel. Instead, LemonDogs turn it around. They kick him away. They did lose a kill for it, though. It was going to be Mithy that goes down. Nuke now getting pursued upon. Kuban tries to chase him down. Will he land that Cocoon? Ice Blast does manage to find its home. He's trying to sidestep, trying to dodge. There's going to be the absolute zero. Cocoon lands. That keeps him locked up. Nuke hasn't got... Oh! Gets away.
Here comes Tabs.
Tabs comes around the side, gets on towards Makara. The exhaust, will it be enough? Makla gets tied down. Zoro comes in, the shark thrown out. Not going to find its target on towards Makla. He's forced to back away. LemonDogs give pursuit. Tabs tries to dive in. Makla using the 90 caliber net, catches onto Zoro, but Zoro, he's got enough to take it through the tank. He's going to get the flip in there. Throws him in. The poison does the damage. Tabs picks up another.
They haven't stopped yet, as now Charu's the next target. Can Dexter get the Sonic Wave? In fact, they turn their attention onto Cuban.
True Shot Barrage rattles across. Tabs picks up an easy kill.
That was just deleted from the map. There's no other way to talk about it. Tabs, 264 ability power right now. His Urchin Strike hits for about 300 damage with his AP and base, and because of the effect of the ability, it applies the Lich Bane damage as well. So you just see how quickly people get melted. Explosive Cask is used to try and defend the tower, but it's not really going to dissuade LemonDogs.
No, this is the sort of game you get when nothing is on the line. This is two teams having fun in League of Legends right now. It's 11-6, the LemonDogs. Of course, they are top of the league, and they're kind of proving why. They've allowed Tabs, the AD carry, to play in the mid lane on his legendary Fizz, and it seems to be working out well. Meanwhile, Nuke, who's normally the mid laner, he's 0-0-5 on Ezreal.
And Zoro has basically just been man-moding up this entire game. He's been had Insanity Potion on for such an extensive amount of time, and he's just been running absolutely wild. Tabs pushing in the top lane while the rest of LemonDogs have set their sights in the bottom inner turrets.
Yeah, they're going to get some work done towards this one, but the minions get wiped out. Look at Mithy just off the side, actually. He just got silenced off. Oh, tries to go for the grab on Libic, not going to land it. True Shot Barrage going up towards the top, actually, trying to see if he can help out, start things off, and Kuban and Makla, they disengage. They don't even want a 2v1 on Tabs right now.
If the True Shot Barrage had landed, it may have been enough damage in conjunction with Tabs' full combo to secure a kill. Once again, Insanity Potion ticking for Zoro as he just spams out that poison and is trying to get closer to the tower.
Tabs coming around the backside of Makla and Makata in the mid lane. We do see Dexter coming in. That's going to be the playful trickster. The Urchin Strike just drops him straight down.
It's just crazy. This game's just crazy at the minute. Makata forced to flash over the wall away from the potential of the Chum the Waters and Rocket Grab. He does manage to avoid both of those abilities, and to be fair, Tabs held on to his ultimates.
So when all four members of LemonDogs are dirty farming or proxy farming, what do you call it then? It's just
GG.
pretty much is what you're going to call it. That's the inner turret on the bottom lane going down. Mithy looking to see if he can land another hook. Uses the overdrive, doesn't get on towards Makata.
Yeah, not quite sure where he was aiming. May have anticipated Makata to actually hug the wall and didn't manage to work out for him in that particular engagement. And Libic, we've only really seen one Crow Storm out of him during the course of this game. It hasn't been impactful at all. And it's because his team dies too quickly. LemonDogs are just melting everybody. I do want to highlight the fact that Nukeduck is playing Ezreal, and the reason it's important to highlight, if they want to run double AD comps, it's always good to have more practice on these types of champions.
Yeah, they've tried it before, of course, and it didn't quite work out. It was Fnatic that gave it a go yesterday. Nukeduck is actually going to turn this one around. He's got red buff, goes aggressive on towards Kuban, suddenly puts out a lot more damage. All the ignites there, he's going to repel away. Not going to get away, though.
Kuban may have overestimated how much HP he had. That is a man immune, Sheen, plus red buff that he had to deal with. And Nukeduck just got a couple auto attacks down and went, hang on a minute, I can win this one.
Thanks, my first kill of the game, yeah.
Lee Sin, on the other hand, Dexter is obviously playing Lee Sin. He's picked himself up that Tiamat and will be working himself towards a Ravenous Hydra. We actually seen Meteors picking up Ravenous Hydra on his jungle Nocturne last night.
Mithy making sure his ultimate doesn't get used to aggravate the Baron and make sure he clears out a clean sweep of the wards. They have no intention of going for Baron, it seems, because they've warded it out. Let's see whether they've actually just going to bait anything in there. Down the bottom lane and in the top lane, they are pushing the waves in. We do see Zoro0, who's been off farming pretty much the whole way. He's got himself that Leandris now, along with that Rod of Ages had a long time ago with the Boots of Swiftness. The mid lane, the bottom lane, sorry, top lane, top, middle or bottom, strike it lucky.
After falling behind in CS, Zoro0 has been left completely alone, and he's actually got the highest CS in the game right now. And thanks to the immense amount of items and gold that LemonDogs have accrued over the last 25 minutes, plus the crazy vision control, they're just going to pick up this Baron. You can see that Zoro0 has got two members facing him, like directly in lane. So MYM aren't even going to be able to challenge.
Look at Kuban. He's trying to sneak around the back side of Zoro0. Zoro0 is going to get actually trapped here, but it doesn't matter because the rest of the team are collapsing around. Cocoon doesn't land. Ghost pops. He's going to turn it around and go aggressive. Nearly took down Magda with the flip there. Puts a lot down. Throws out the glue, and off he goes. He is going. There is nothing catching Zoro0. Tries to turn it back around here. He's going to chase on towards Kuban right now. Has he got enough? It's going to be Usain Bolt versus the rest of Meet Your Makers. Seemingly down the bottom. The rest of LemonDogs, they're collapsing in the mid lane.
Run, Forest, run! That's what everybody is yelling as Zoro0 gets away from a 1v4. Is Charo going to get caught by the hook? That's the real question. He manages to back away before Mithy throws out that rocket grab. And it's complete control on every single front here for the LemonDogs.
Yeah, it's a 13,000 gold lead, 13-6 up in kills. Mithy with that Oracle, roaming himself around, popping that overdrive, throwing out the hook, seeing if he can land anything. Meanwhile, Zoro0, well, he's been having fun. He's pretty much tanking the entire team right now. That's the middle inhibitor turret going down for the LemonDogs. They have managed to secure first place already, and they're looking to take their record to 18-10. By far the most impressive record here in the European LCS. Not one I would have called before Super Week, but this has been a majestic Super Week for them.
Yeah, and arguably the most consistent team in the European LCS right now. We do see Tabs, he's caught Libic out, Libic's in trouble.
There goes the Shark, Makata gets hooked in and absolutely massacred. That's another one. There's an inhibitor going down. Zoro0's also trotting on through. He's just showing out what he can do. And actually this is interesting because this is another champion for Zoro0. Let's not take it away. We haven't seen him playing Singed in the LCS. He's done a very good job of it.
Yeah, he definitely knows how to play Singed. You can see LemonDogs with the inhibitor down. They've turned their focus to the bottom lane, and I think they're just going to extend this one out, have a little bit more fun with it. Insanity Potion is ticking for Zoro0, so if a rocket grab or a fling lands, it's going to be yet another kill for them, managing to get their KDAs a little bit higher.
Well, Trevor, this has been the last game that we are going to cast together, I might add, because you're going to be switching to play-by-play after this one, which is going to be great to see at Gamescom. It has been fantastic fun to finish off with LemonDogs just absolutely destroying Meet Your Makers. They're going to back off. They're not finishing it just yet.
It's bait.
Oh,
they want to get more kills. Somebody is going to die. The flash hook misses.
Yeah.
No.
Mithy. It didn't work out.
Gotta blame Mithy. Gotta blame Mithy.
The whole team was ready. The whole world was waiting. And you missed.
Yeah, that's, you know what? Everybody needs to spam him on Twitter and be like, why are you so bad? Why do you miss that hook?
Oh, Mithy, I mean, honestly, you may be able to carry your entire team through the LCS, but you can't land a hook.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna judge your entire
Mad
split
Life.
performance on that single play. Right now, LemonDogs have backed off. They bought themselves even more items. Zonya's Hourglass picked up for Tabs if he wasn't difficult enough to kill already. Ravenous Hydra for Dexter and Lee Sin, and it's just a matter of time. I feel like they're gonna go top lane and take the next inhibitor before they try to finish this game.
Well, we'll see whether they do that. They have full confidence, and in terms of broadcast production crew, I think everybody at home would be thinking, finish the game.
I think everyone's wondering.
Very tight games coming up. We have Ninjas and Pajamas, Evo Geniuses, and Fnatic tied at 14-13. We have Alternate and SK at 13-14. I don't know the exact permutation as of how close these ties can be, but I do know it's pretty damn tight. One
of my favorite things about Super Week is the Reddit thread saying, if you support X team, you want Y to win their game.
Yes.
Because if that team wins, our team makes it through. And I love seeing all the variables. Right now, as predicted, LemonDogs are pushing into the base. There's super minions in the middle and the bottom. And we'll see if anybody else is going to die. You can see that Nukeduck is pushing the top lane down. He wants to play this by the numbers, and they've kicked Cubon.
Boom! Headshot on Cubon, forces him away. That Leandra's doing work. He's going to get burned, but it's not going to be enough. Mokada's going to get caught out. Tabs is going to jump around there. Zoro Zero is going to survive. No! Safeguard was not enough. Limit gets dropped. Nukeduck comes in. Makler is burning as well. That's a Nexus turret down. The second one is dropping. It is going to be the LemonDogs that will take the victory here. They will take their end result of 18-10 in the European LCS. They were the new boys on the block. They said they were going to take first. They have taken first. Let's see whether they can do it when they get to Gamescom. Tabs tries to use the playful trickster on towards the fountain. Quite mistimes it there. It doesn't matter though. Nukeduck's going to finish off the Nexus. LemonDogs are victorious once again after a fantastic match and an enjoyable performance. You can tell they had fun with that one. They switched the roles. They let Tabs loose on his fizz, and it worked wonders.
The question is, what are LemonDogs going to do at the playoffs? How are they going to prepare for this one? And how do you deal with the LemonDogs? If you are going into that matchup, as soon as we figure out who they're going to be facing off against, of course. All right, now, it was a very good game, very solid performance. They end the weekend going 4-1, only dropping a game to Evil Geniuses.
But more importantly, Mithy, you missed your flash hook, man. You wouldn't see Mad Life doing that.
Yeah.
The whole team was ready and waiting, but unfortunately it doesn't land. But I guess he's kind of busy working out the permutations of exactly who they're going to be placing, because they are in first place. They will be playing whoever finishes 4th and 5th. That's who they face off in the playoffs. Right now, with that is first place secured. They have a very good decision on who they could face, and they're going to be just spectators now, like the rest of you guys at home, to find out who that will be.
Yeah, the next 3 games are going to be very, very crucial, very important, and we'll break down exactly how the tiebreakers work at the end of the day, because in the case that we do have tiebreaker scenarios, we will be playing them out today.
They will happen today. We will not be finishing our broadcast until everything is decided, which means
you may see us again.
Could be a long night, guys.
Yeah, you may actually see us again. Game 7 of the day, maybe. It just depends on how the rest of the results go. And, you know, we're hammering out the numbers and the options and the possibilities, but it is interesting to say the least.
But this is the last time we're going to be paired together.
Potentially, unless it's tiebreakers.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Yeah, let's not get carried away.
There's another season. We could be paired together in that.
Correct.
I don't want to start any Reddit threads or anything out there. We don't want to go through that whole thing again. What I'm saying is, Gamescom, we will not be casting together.
Correct. I'm going to be doing play-by-play at Gamescom, and I think what we need to take from this game is, Mithy, why are you so bad? That's what I feel the Reddits and the internets need to be doing, and I know he's going to laugh when he hears me saying it. I hope. But we love you. Congratulations, LemonDogs, #1 on the splits.
Yeah, let's go towards our analysis desk. Not really sure what they're going to break down in that game, because Joe and Jason, take us through that exhibition match.
Well, a deadly serious game there for both these teams, their final games.
We need to take about half an hour to analyze this game step by step, second by second, of what actually happened.
In fact, as a replay, we're going to show the entire thing. No, we're not, of course. But a bit of a fun game there. Obviously, the final game for both LemonDogs and Meet Your Makers. Couldn't change any kind of positioning for any team there. So, no, it was nice to see Tabs on the fizz.
Yeah, Demon will finally say who's on Fizz correctly this time. Because every single time he always says, it's Tabs, oh, it's Nuke Duck. But yeah, finally showing us his AP mid, even though he was with Mythy again in the mid lane. But yeah, it was definitely nice. It was very refreshing to see that. Not to mention, we saw Gragas, and we saw Singed.
We saw Singed, which made me a very happy person, especially down at the bottom. 1 versus 4, nearly getting a kill, forcing them to flash away afterwards. So good job, 0-0 for that one. We should talk about LemonDogs a little bit more in this, because they have had an absolutely brilliant season. We laughed at them when they said that they're going to be #1 at the end of this, and I think everyone did. We saw, you know, the fans, you guys at home, didn't even vote for them to win up until week 8. Despite how well they were playing. They're complete underdogs here that have topped the table.
Well, I'm actually really curious, what would have happened to the team if We Will Failure was still on the roster? Because right when he left, they were on an upswing right from there. I mean, they didn't do that well in the first week. They didn't do that well in the second week, to be honest. But ever since Mythy joined the team, it's been a complete turnaround. And now, I mean, they're the team to beat now coming into the playoffs. And they will get that first round bye, I'd get it eventually, and finally go into you know, the next part of it, where they're now pretty much where they are pre-qualified for Season 4.
Yeah, and then of course MYM finishing bottom. That game couldn't change anything there for them. And that's a team who had a really good start, who went 4 for 1 in the first Super Week, looked really, really strong. They kind of got figured out, I think, was most of the problem after 3 weeks or so, and they started dropping more and more games. They finished 8th here, but it's not over for them just yet. I mean, this is a team with so much spirit. They failed to qualify for the spring split. They stuck together. They practiced through it, and they got here into the summer. So, you know, they've still got a chance when it comes to promotion relegation later on, and they're going to have to come out swinging for that.
Yeah, and they're going to have a lot of time to practice for that, too. I mean, when you look at when they are from the spring split to the summer promotion tournament, they had a lot of time to figure out all their teams. They're going to have the opportunity yet again, though they're not going to have as much information against the promotion teams coming up, but they're still going to have that ability to practice, to fix the things that were going wrong, and hopefully come into that with high spirits.
Well, thanks a lot, Jason. We're going to be headed over to Shox now for an interview. She's with Tabs.
Thank you. An interview with Tabs, of course, because he pulled out that Fizz and back in the mid lane. So tell us about that experience for you.
Well, I was actually really happy that I finally got to play Fizz again. He used to be like my main champion for many, many months. Like all my time in mid lane, he used to be my main champion. And I was very happy that I finally got a chance to play him again, especially because the outcome of this game would have like no difference on any of the standings. So we could just have a bit of fun and, yeah, do that.
Yeah, nobody would have blamed you if you'd gone full troll fix or weird picks, but still you both took it quite seriously. You went with things that you know could be viable if you tried. Is there any other players that went for a pick that they just really wanted to play once, or?
Well, to be honest, Vithy and Nuke Duck really wanted to play Ezreal Blitz. That was basically the reason why I even played Fizz mid. We were like, yeah, this is going to be fun. Like, they're going to play Ezreal Blitz, and I'm going to play Fizz. That was basically our strategy.
Do you have any comments on that last flash failed hook by Mythy?
Oh, we were like, Mythy hook, Mythy hook. There was like a big plan around it because everyone was waiting behind the wall. And then, yeah, he failed it, so...
What does that say about Mythy? Yeah. No, but seriously now, you got a chance to play that Fizz again, and in a competitive setting, do you feel like you've maybe lost some of the mechanics you had when you used to be very godlike on that Fizz because you've been playing that much AD?
Well, I have been playing not that much mid lately, but I still practice it in solo queue. I really enjoy playing it, so I do like playing in solo queue to keep my mechanics up. And yeah, I don't think I've lost many mechanics. If I would train for a bit, then I would be one of the top mids, I think, so.
Yeah, and talking about that, maybe, is there somewhere in you feeling maybe I want to go back to that mid role, and if it would be possible in the team, maybe we could swap that out sometimes?
Nah, I don't think it's going to happen. And I respect Nuke Duck a lot. He's a very strong mid player as well. And I do enjoy playing AD, so it's not really going to happen unless there's a match like this where it doesn't really matter what the standings are going to be.
Yeah, because you play, of course, a mean Caitlyn as well through mean Fizz and many other champions. So finally, you guys are #1 in the summer split. You had big ambitions coming into this one. You fulfilled every single one of them, and now the playoffs are there. It's a totally different setting. It's a totally different stage. So what are your thoughts going into that?
Well, I think it's going to be a lot harder than the LCS matches themselves. There's going to be a lot more pressure on us to win that best of 3 that will qualify us to Worlds. It's really important for us, and we will train really hard and do our best and see if we can grab one of those best of 3s and go to Worlds.
All right. Well, congratulations on a phenomenal season and another victory to close it out here. Thank you very much. All right, now settle in for even more League of Legends action because we have 3